If you ain't a Gator, you must be Gator bait. If you ain't a Gator, you must be Gator bait.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is If You Ain't a Gator. Guys, it is game week. Let's go. I'm so ready. I'm so pumped up. I cannot wait to be in Gainesville this Saturday. We made it, finally. I feel like this has been the longest off season of all time, but yet the shortest, if that makes sense. I don't really know, but I just know that we're going undefeated. We're going to be national champs, and we get to all hang out and go through this journey together. So glad I started this right away and started this season because something special is happening in Gainesville. I've been saying it. I don't care. Call me a Gator pumper, whatever you want to call me. Just know we're winning it all, and you heard it here first. That's all I know. Bobby, what's up, my boy? All right, we got a couple of things to talk about. We're going to go over some recruiting just because we haven't done it in a few weeks. I also haven't had a show by myself in a little while, but we're going to go through it real quick. So, recruiting update. Florida sits at number 13. We got, what's up, Kenny? Glad you're here, bro. Glad you are here. So, yeah, Florida sits at number 13 in the nation with recruiting with the addition of Davion Gross. Listen. This guy right here, again, I know I've said it a couple of times. I'm not comparing anybody to Percy Harvin, but the way that this man can take the ball from the backfield, he can go out wide, he can catch the ball, his ins and outs. I mean, you can put him anywhere. Truly, I think you can put him at tight end and he can play the position, so can play it great. So, I love this addition. I'm going to read to you guys what 247 says about him. It's massive, absolutely massive pickup. It says, dynamic offensive weapon, experienced at running back and receiver, who could play either at the high major level. Owns a receiver's build with strong pass catching production, but verified athleticism particularly stands out when stacked versus running back class. I don't know about you guys, but I'm all for having a Percy Harvin type player back in Gainesville. I get it. I think that we kind of thought that that's what Eugene Wilson was going to be, but I think that Eugene Wilson is made for the slot. But I do think that Billy Napier is bringing guys in from the recruiting class that fit his kind of offense. I've been very adamant about this. I think that our offense hasn't been able to click. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One, he hasn't trusted our defense. So I don't think he wanted to put our defense in too much trouble with taking chances on offense. Two, he doesn't have a lot of guys with a lot of movement, a lot of motion, and that's what he's bringing in. If you look at this class, he's got a couple of guys that can go up top and high point the ball. But I think that you're going to see this offense start clicking, and it's going to start this year. I think that these players saw what Lagway did at the end of the season and what he brought with winning every single game that he started and finished. People are seeing it. People are starting to catch on, and it's just going to continue to roll on when we grab Elijah Haven. I fully believe that he's going to be a Gator as well. He's going to be there for the Florida-Texas game from what I've heard. And when we stomp them boys, he'll commit that day too. I just believe it, and I'm speaking it into existence. But yeah, that's really the only update on recruiting. I think recruiting's been it chilled out quite a bit. It picked up and got real heavy there for a little bit. And then it does that right around the season. It starts to go Gators, bro. Go Gators. But yeah, it evens out a little bit. It starts to slow down. People take their visits, and then, right around National Signing Day, the real National Signing Day in December, it starts to really get hot and pick back up again. But yeah, we got game week, man. I really believe I'm going to talk about the Florida LIU game this Saturday. I know that Billy is not the kind of guy to go and run up the score. He's not the guy. I look at that 45.5 point favorite, and I don't know if you guys are betting people, but just looking at that 45.5 points, I'm just like, I don't see Billy going out there and pouring it on, but I definitely think he should. I know it's LIU, but go drop 70 on their head and just put the nation on notice that, hey, these boys are going to score. I agree. I think that he is going to open up this offense a whole lot. I really do believe that you got to get certain guys in there, and it's hard in college football in the last 15, 20 years. I feel like even more than that, probably no one really gets a chance to establish anything. Everyone, it's kind of like that cliche thing. You got 3 years, boom, you don't get it going, you're out. Like, get out of there. 3 years, you ain't cutting it, go ahead and go. But Billy's getting that 4th year. We see what we got in DJ. With DJ this weekend, to be brutally honest, and I kind of hate it because going there and it being my son and my little cousin's first game, I was hoping he's going to play more, but it's supposed to be raining. That's a massive, massive thing. So that ground's going to be slick. I really think you see him 2, maybe 3 drives, get in there, kind of get his feet wet, maybe quite literally get his feet wet, and sling the ball around, get a feel for just competition. Someone that's not, your DBs are flying around, yes, at practice, but kind of get the feel for people who are actually trying to beat you. Get in there, probably 2-3 drives, so score a touchdown, all 3 of them, pull them, and then let Aiden Warner and Tramel Jones get in there and toss 4 or 5 more touchdowns, hopefully. I want to see this. I really do want to see us pour it on. I get real tired of kind of the just keeping the chains on them and not releasing these boys and letting them go out there and do what they're supposed to do. I don't think we're going to see Dallas Wilson. I don't think we're going to see LJ McCray. Probably won't see Caleb Banks this weekend. I'm hoping we get him against USF. I want him to have some in-game reps before live ball kicks off is really what I'm hoping for. But I'll be honest with you, what I'm really wanting to see, we know DJ is going to go in there and do his thing. We know he's going to go in there and score a lot of touchdowns. If they keep him in there, he can go in there and score a lot of touchdowns. But I want to see who QB2 is. I want to see when they pull Lagway out, I want to see who the next guy that trots out there is. Is it going to be Aiden Warner? Most likely. Is that who I want it to be? Honestly, no. I want to see Tramel Jones out there. I'll be honest with you. If Aiden Warner is our true number 2, if that's who Billy is solidified on, I know that he's been saying in the press conferences that he doesn't know that it's a real competition. I don't know how much I believe that, as much as it might be just kind of a thing he's throwing out there. I mean, Billy kind of plays chess with the media a lot. But if it's a real competition, we're going to find out who the real number 2 is, because they're going to go out there. They're only going to play, I think they'll play more drives than DJ, obviously, but they're not going to play a whole lot either, because that is going to be his real backup. And I think your 3rd string and 4th string will play a majority of the second half. But yeah, even if it is, I'll be real with what you're saying. I think if Tramel is the real number 2, I hope he plays more than like if Aiden Warner, who's already played for the offense, who understands the scheme. If that is our real number 2 and that's who's going to back up Lagway, yeah, get him out of there, because I don't want him to get hurt. But if it is Tramel Jones, I think you keep him in there for, I don't know, quarter and a half, just to, get his feet wet, get the feel of it. But yeah, I'm just sorry for these games to get going. And I think this is a big, big thing here, because Billy has gotten such a terrible, terrible start to who he's had to play. And that's due to, Dan Mullen scheduling games and just like, the home and home with Utah. Then you got to start with Miami. And no matter what we think about Miami and how their fans are talking, things like that, that's not an easy game to start the season with. And then to get smacked like we did by them, you got to have these guys go out there and it really poured on. We've been known to start slow. So you got no excuse now. You have LIU, then you have USF. Get it going, get in the groove, get that timing down. That's the main reason I want to see DJ in there, is just to get that timing down in the swamp with the full crowd, people that are actually trying to beat you. Again, let's check right now, because we have USF playing right now. So let's see what the score of that game is. 7-3. So if we are who we say we are, by this time of the game in 2 weeks, it should be 21-3. I'll give them 3 points, or even 21-0. We shouldn't even let them score. Get in the groove, get moving, get flowing in and out. So that's what I want to see. I want to see what this depth chart is looking like. Again, I think that you're going to see it if you're on Twitter, if you're on any type of social media platform, that they're going to see guys trot out there on Saturday that I don't know if that's going to be the exact depth chart come week 3. I just don't. I don't know if that's what it's going to be. Again, you don't know what Billy's going to do, where he's playing chess with guys rather than playing checkers. He's not going to show you his full hand. It's going to be a lot of deep shots, a lot of handoffs on Saturday, and it's not going to be anything absolutely crazy. So if they're not just blowing your mind with offensive plays on Saturday or even in 2 weeks, don't freak out about that. I don't see Billy showing his hand when he's got LSU in Baton Rouge coming up week 3. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I like what Trammell brings to the table. I like what I'm seeing from fall camp, just the pop he has on the ball, the way it shoots out of his hand. I love that. I definitely want to see him get a lot of reps in there. Again, if it's him at the 2 or him at the 3, I want to see what he brings to the table. I'm not obviously as excited about watching him play as we were about DJ last year, but I am very excited to see what he brings to the table, no matter who he's throwing to. I can't wait to see him toss it to Nashawn Montgomery on Saturday and see Nashawn get to score in there, and Tank get to score. I want to see all these boys put points on the board. I agree. Yeah, he does. He definitely fits it better. I think that it's, again, you can't really blame Billy, because you can't trot out there with one quarterback. And, former seasons, I've been very adamant on, I don't think that Graham Mertz fit the offense. I fully believe this, that in 10 years or so, when we're looking back on these teams, we look on last year's team and then this year's team, I think we're going to see kind of the blessing in disguise of what Graham Mertz was. I think he was very much so just someone that I think Billy knew, okay, let me get this game manager in here. But he ended up being way more for Lagway and we'll see that this year, next year, and years down the road. We'll look back on this and go, okay, I see why he was there. But the Aiden Warner one, I don't really understand. Yeah, I've been very adamant on it. When Billy was at Louisiana, he always had he wanted dual threat quarterback. That's what he does well with. A quarterback that, I don't think Lagway is your Tim Tebow. I understand the comparisons. You look at, their birthdays are a day apart and they're both built like brick houses, but I don't think that Lagway is your Tebow. Tebow was a run first, pass second player and fit into this spread offense, whereas Lagway is definitely I think he's definitely your NFL style quarterback now. Like what the NFL is transitioning to, of pass first and can pass the ball to any point on the field, but he can also move around and he can run. But I just don't see Lagway. And maybe it has to do a little bit with injuries. I don't know that we haven't seen it, but I don't personally see Lagway breaking out off the edge and running down the field and then just running someone smack over. I just don't think it's his nature. But it's the same with Trammell Jones. Trammell Jones he can run the ball. He can move around. That's why I think he fits that mold. Whereas Aiden Warner, I think he's more of like that Graham Mertz build that I don't understand. I don't understand it. If you're going to bring people in from the transfer portal, why don't you bring somebody in that can move around both ways? But yeah, so I think that's a big thing with this weekend. I want to see what everybody kind of brings to the table. I want to see, to be real, if it is going to be wet out there, let's see how these guys handle playing offense and playing football in the rain. That ball is going to be slick. Let's just see how it goes. But I'm telling you, if we don't go out there and hang at least 60 on their heads, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. There's just no reason that we shouldn't, to be honest. So yeah, I agree. I want to see what they had to bring. And I think you will, to be brutally honest. I don't think you're going to see a lot of Jaden Ball or Jackson. You're going to see him a couple of, maybe the first quarter, to be grooving in and out. But I think you're going to see a lot more of Katie and Duke running the ball around. And I think that's also a part of it. I think that's why I'm telling you, I don't think that any of us should look at this game and go, okay, well, even if Tramel Jones runs out there as the number 2 quarterback, same thing with if KD runs out there, for the 3 back, or Duke runs out there for the 3 back. I don't think we need to look at that in a sense of like, that's solidified. Like, that's our number 2, that's our number 3. I just don't believe that. I think that Billy knows, everyone knows what we're going to do to these boys on Saturday. And this is going to be a telltale. I think this is just part of it. It's just scrimmage to him. Let me see what we got here. Let's see who is willing to fit and learn what we're doing here, because Billy has shown it. This offense that he runs is not a draw it up in the dirt. Obviously, Lagway does that, but that's if he needs to. He has a scheme that he fits with, and I think that he wants to see who is going to learn that scheme. I mean, he just talked about Adam Mizell and how Adam Mizell is a great guy. He's a great player, but there's things he still needs to learn. He's got to mature in those ways. And, I want to see what he brings to the table. We saw what he did against Samford when, him and DJ had that connection. But let's just see. I can't wait to see what we trot out there and who is. I can't wait. I want to see Tramel. That's a big one. I want to see him whip it around. I would love to see Dallas Wilson. I was very adamant on saying I think that he's going to catch a touchdown this weekend, but it's looking like he ain't going to play. And to be honest with you, it's fine with me. As much as I hate to admit it, even if DJ didn't play, I'd have been okay with it if that means that at the end of the year, we're hoisting that trophy up. I think that, that's, yes, please take a second, subscribe, hit the like button. But yeah, I don't think that we're going to think about it if we are 11-1, 10-2, undefeated. Come the end of the season, we're in the playoffs. No one's going to go, dang, I didn't get to see Dallas Wilson against LIU, or dang, I didn't get to see so-and-so against LIU. You're not going to think about that. You think about it this weekend, but it's going to be all right. Let those little lingering injuries, let them heal, let them fix, and then they're still getting great reps at practice against our players. So I don't want to see anybody go out there because it's a wet field and they're trying their hardest to play against LIU. I don't want to see them get injured where it gets further into the season where we're missing them for LSU and for a Texas and a Miami. No, I don't care that much about it. I want to see what this team can fully do when they're at full health and full steam ahead. So, I mean, I definitely would love, to be honest with you, I'd love to see Lagway no runs. Dude, I don't want to see him get out of there. There's no reason this offensive line shouldn't be able to just keep his jersey and his uniform clean. But I would like to see him, even if it's half of the first quarter. I don't prefer a drive or two. I would like to see him for more, just because get the timing down and, get it that way. Yeah. I'll say he's the closest thing to Tebow in the sense of popularity. I get it. He plays the quarterback position, but I just don't believe that the two of them are that much alike in all reality. I think that the hype behind them, you look around the stadium this weekend, you're going to see number 2 jerseys all over the place. The only difference is he can bank off of it. Tebow couldn't back then. But you're going to see number 2 jerseys everywhere. The hype is crazy real. I think that the feeling in Gainesville that he brings, it shows you it's a championship feeling. It really is a championship feeling. This ball club just feels different this year. And I mean that from last year. I was hyped about last season, and I had a lot of hope. I didn't think we'd get blown out by a Miami. I didn't know if we'd beat them, but I definitely thought that last season would have went a little bit better than it did. It ended great, but this year there's a massive hype, and rightfully so. You look around, and I'm sorry, but there's not a media outlet out there that's not talking about us and is not talking about what these guys are bringing to the table. And yeah, DJ, the way he throws the ball, I've been very big on that. He can throw receivers open, and that's the thing with it. You go back and watch Tebow. I'll never disrespect Tebow in the sense of that. Listen, that's my childhood. I got to watch 2 national championships that he was a part of, but even on that 06 team, he didn't throw like Chris Leak did. And whereas Lagway can throw receivers open. And the crazy thing about that is that these receivers are so good, I don't think he's going to have to do that. But what he brings to the table is that. And Tebow couldn't do that. Tebow couldn't throw them open, even though he didn't really have to. He had 5 stars all over the place. But it's going to be, this year is going to be something to remember. And I'm very big on, everyone's like, oh, like no injuries. No, we ain't got to talk about injuries. We're going to be fine. We're going to be healthy. I'm putting it out there now, and it's going to be all right. Exactly. Mr. Flick the wrist. Watching this right here, this comment is crazy because if you watched or you were at the Samford game, I've never seen a throw like the pass that he threw to Aiden Mizell. And again, I don't care if it was against Samford. I don't care who it was against. That throw and the placement of that, and there's another grown man covering another grown man. And again, if we want to look at it this way, we just heard Billy talk about that Aiden Mizell didn't have great route running. He wasn't mature in that sense. He was just fast. And that's what I'm talking about. He had a guy on his hip, and you go watch that ball placement of where DJ put that ball. That's why he's getting the media hype. That's why he's getting everything he's getting. And the fact that, again, he's undefeated in every game that he started and finished. And that's the thing. This is where the hype comes in about like these other quarterbacks, in the country, who your Bryce Underwoods, your Arch Mannings. And it's no hate on them. I think that they are great quarterbacks. I think that Florida-Texas game in the Swamp is going to be like one to remember. It's going to be one for the record books. But we know what Lagway did when he had nobody to turn to. We saw what happened in the Ole Miss game. There was nobody to turn to. It was him. He can't look over there and say like, oh, okay, if I mess up here, Graham's coming in. We know what he brings to the table. But we don't know what Arch. We don't know about Bryce Underwood. So that's why I guess I don't fully get the hype on those guys. But I just don't think that Lagway is going to have to be Superman or be, like I've said, like what Cam Newton was for Auburn. I just don't think he's going to have to be that for this team, because there's guys all over this squad that's going to get drafted. They're going to go play in the NFL, whereas that Auburn team, Cam's the only one. Like, Cam is the only one. Whereas this squad, I think that Lagway, even being unhealthy, I think, or if he does end up being unhealthy, or whatever the case may be, he's going to be able to just stand in that pocket and just distribute the ball. He's not going to have to run out there. And to be completely honest, if he does not have to roll out of that pocket, if we can leave the running to these stallions that are in the backfield and the running to end arounds, and if there's maybe the LSU game, the Texas game, that it's 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and he has to take off and he just kind of he slides or he just kind of and whips out of bounds. Cool. Leave it for that. I'm fine with those kind of runs. I don't want to see him take off up the field and try to do like what he did in high school, because he had to be a Cam Newton of that high school team. He was trying to win a state championship for them, and he knew what his goal was. And that's where I see him getting injured. He tried to do too much against Georgia. I don't think he even needed to do that. I think that he, in his mind, and he said it, last season was the first season in his football career as a quarterback that he hasn't rushed for a touchdown. So he needs to get out of that mindset. You're not a running back. You're not a receiver. You were there to play quarterback. And if that's what he can get in that mental state of it, again, he's a true freshman last year. He's going to be a little bit immature. Let him work into it, and it's going to be all right. Again, I've said it too. The interceptions, I want to talk about those. If he throws them, as long as we got more points than the other team at the end of it, he can throw all the interceptions he wants. It's going to stress me out to the max, but I don't really care. So, I mean, in all reality, if you're in here, tell me, what stats do you think DJ is going to have this year? Do you think he's going to have more rushing touchdowns? Do you think that he's going to just stick to passing? How do you feel about it? Because to be real, I think that if he's got less than 300 rushing yards on the season, even less than 250, whatever, I'm cool with it, because that means that something else better is happening. So, yeah, I'm ready for it. I can't wait. It feels like Christmas coming up. Yo, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Yeah, it just, yeah, exactly. Dang, why don't this pop up? It's not all on him. That's the thing about what Billy has built here. And I think that's what's crazy to me about listening to these different medias and all these different platforms talking about it. And I really only hear Josh Pate really talking, maybe JD Pickle a little bit, talking about this team. Everybody else who talks about this team, your ESPNs, your, Fox Sport, whoever's talking about this team, I feel like every one of them are kind of saying that it's all on Lagway's shoulders. And I just don't believe that. I believe that this team has a defense that can get the ball back in plus territory. I think that they're going to wreak havoc on every single offense they play. I genuinely mean that. I think that this team is going to just dismantle some teams. And honestly, like, it really would not shock me if we go into Baton Rouge and we slap them boys up. Arch Manning in Texas, let them come into the swamp. We've seen what's happened when a number one team has come in the swamp and they got this high-powered offense. Go look at Ole Miss. What is 2016? Ole Miss comes in as the number one team, and that Gators defense made them boys look like they've never played offense before in their life. So it's not like it's some, it never happened before thing. And so it's just crazy. Yeah, listen, them boys up in Long Island have no idea. I see them making their TikToks. I see them, posting about the Gators, and I'm like, you guys truly have no idea what a sold out Florida Gator Stadium is like. I mean, truly. I'll tell a story about this real quick, because this is when I really got to realize 2 times that I really fully saw how loud Florida Gator Stadium was. I went with a guy, I call him my cousin. His name's Jared. He was on a recruiting visit to the swamp, and he took me with him. And we got to sit on field level to watch Florida versus Vanderbilt. And Vern was on the team at that time, Vernon Hargraves, and he's out there dancing, and he got to pick that game, and the place erupted. And when you're at that level and all of that sound is crashing in on you, I'm like, this is why it feels like this place is consuming you. And, that's number one. Second thing is, going back a couple years, Florida versus Auburn, and P. Ryan hits that side and takes off down the field. And when he hits past the side, I mean, he gets free and the crowd gets loud. I mean, they're screaming like maniacs. and then he gets past those safeties and everybody kind of comes to the realization that he's about to score a touchdown, I could not hear. My ears were ringing even after the game. I mean, truly, I couldn't even hear the music playing in the stadium because it was so loud when they erupted. My best friend's sitting right beside me, and he's trying to talk to me, and you can't hear anything either of us are saying to each other. So these guys have no idea what they're walking into, and that's anybody, even Arch. Everyone's looking at it like, oh, Arch is going to play Ohio State, this weekend. Don't get me wrong, it's tough, but it is not. It is not the Swamp. He's going to feel genuine pressure from the jump. I mean, when you can just feel just the sound waves going by your ears when people are screaming in there, and he's got to deal with that, and he's got to try to call a play, and he's got to try to switch things. He's not prepared, I'm telling you. It's going to get ugly. I'm telling you. It's one of the realest things. It's something that you just can't understand until you get there. And that's why another reason why I think that this year is going to be so special. And it can't get off track because I think that the fans just aren't going to put up with it. I think fans will show up. But if we walk into Florida, Texas, undefeated, do you know how chaotic that place is going to go? I mean, truly. Do you understand how chaotic that place is going to be? It's going to be unlike any other. Oh, yeah. Listen, I need Florida putting up massive numbers. These guys, we were supposed to play FAMU. People don't even understand that. FAMU canceled their game with us, and we had to fill in a game, and that's why we got these guys. And yeah, these boys got their max capacity at a game last year, and it's not to knock them. I mean, kudos to you. Come out here and try your best, but they had a maximum of 550 people at their game. You think they're prepared for what's about to happen? I mean, there's going to be. I want 4 pick sixes on Saturday. That's what I prefer. Yeah, we'll be at the Texas game too, and I can't wait. I mean, truly, I want to go into that game undefeated. I want to see just it get rowdy, honestly. And, man, this season I'm pumped. I'm ready. I've been watching hype videos, and some of these videos got me ready to run through a wall. I shared one on Twitter that I was trying to find a helmet. I'm like, sign me up. Get me out there with Lagway. Put me out there with Tyreek Sapp. Put me on the line. I'm just beyond ready. I think that it's hard, and I get that. Well, to be 100% real here, I think that even all of us Gators fans that are really, really hyped for it, I think it's kind of, I can tell with a lot of people, there's a little bit of pushback, just a little bit of kind of pulling back, thinking about this season and thinking about I think we've gotten so prone to bad happening that we kind of hold back. Trust me, do not hold back. Go out there and puff your chest out, and you can say it loud and proud. Like, this team's going to be special. Something special is brewing in the Swamp. Something special is brewing in the nation, and they're going to find out real quick. You see people laughing like, oh, why are the Gators so high? Why are the Gators here? Just watch. Keep that. I want them to keep that energy up. Go ahead. I hope they got that on bulletin board material. I hope they're just putting that up in the locker room. I want all of them boys to read it. Yeah, I to be honest with you, I mean, in all reality, show me a game that we're just completely outmatched. Show me just one on the whole schedule. Show me one that we're completely outmatched on. If you can, cool. I'll say, all right, yeah, that's a loss for us. There is not a game on our schedule that I fully believe that we are outmatched top to bottom. I just don't. I think that, yes, I think that Texas as a whole has firing power top to bottom, with the 5 stars. Yes, they do have more of that. But again, there's stuff that plays into that. A crowd plays into that. There's games that we've won because of that. I don't think that LSU is going to be everything that they're made out to be. We're going to find out on Saturday what they're made of. but I don't think you're replacing a lot. You're replacing what, 4 of 5 O linemen. Their whole defense has basically been revamped. So I don't see us being outmatched. The tough part about that game is going to Death Valley. I will stand on this. If this game this year is in Ben Hill Griffin, if we're playing it in the swamp with everything that revolves this around this LSU team and coming to, they come to the swamp, I think we smack them. I really think we beat them by 10 plus. And yeah, who knows? I hope LSU wins at Clemson. I want all these teams that we play. I want them winning their games until they play us. That's truly what I want. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I hope not. I don't want any. I don't want any of that stuff. To be real with you, I want to play every one of these teams at full go, because when it comes to the end of the season, if we're undefeated, it ain't gonna matter anyways. But if for some reason we drop a couple of games, I want these teams at 100%. I want to show that we went out there and beat them and that we deserve that spot. So this team is not. This is not your FSU of a couple years ago where they got held out of the playoffs because they lost their quarterback. That's not what it is. This team, top to bottom, is going to be nasty. I'm telling you. I hope I'm hyping you guys up as much as I'm hyped up. And if they end up letting you down, sorry. Don't blame me. But, yeah, there's so much to be excited for and so much in the future to be excited for. The players we're bringing in, these are top caliber players, and I can't wait to see where recruiting goes when we have the season that's coming. Just wait. December is going to be crazy. We will have not had a December like this in a long time when we have a top tier season like we're about to have. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they could. They could, but I'll be honest with you, I think LSU wins this weekend, and I think Texas wins this weekend. Miami, I just don't believe they're going to beat Notre Dame. They can't even sell out their stadium, so they're not going to have that advantage. You got Notre Dame coming to town. Their fans don't even want to show up. They want to stay at home. So who knows? As for what they're going to do, I hope they get it done. I hope they're undefeated too coming in. I hope USF gets it done. They're undefeated coming into the swamp, because I want to be every one of their first loss. I want to smack all of them. That's what I want from this team. I don't want there to be any excuses that, Carson Beck went down, or no, none of that. Have them boys coming in fully healthy. Especially, I want to play Miami fully healthy, because I hope I want a 50-burger Miami. Yeah, they could. They really could. Notre Dame could go in there and absolutely blow them out, but I hope they don't. I'll be brutally honest. I hate to say it, because we're going to have to deal with Miami fans for a few weeks if they beat Notre Dame, and about how they're back and whatever. They couldn't win with the best quarterback that they've had in ages, and yet they think they're going to win it with Carson throws picks Beck, but that's neither here nor there. All I know is we got a game on Saturday. I'm beyond ready for it. I truly, truly can't wait. Yeah, exactly. They're always back all the time. Every single time. They're always it's their year. And, bro, pipe that down. It is what it is. But, again, this is going to be a special season. Remember, I said it. Again, I'm so, so, so glad and thankful that I started this, because I don't know. I feel like I hit this on the head right at the right time and started this at the right time, because something special is brewing. You guys probably would not have been able to handle me last year when Billy was losing games. I'd have been on here with some stuff that I probably would be like, I need to delete those. But I don't know. I don't know. Everything I'm reading, he is. Who knows? They're good at. Everyone's good. All these coaches, they got to this spot for a reason. As much as we hate to admit it, they all got a spot for a reason. They don't have to release some of these injury reports. They can keep it swept under the rug. And everyone's looking at our injuries like we're the only team that's getting hurt. Our strength and conditioning sucks. Or, bro, everyone's getting injuries. These guys didn't play football for months, and then they're coming back and they're going full go and they're hitting each other. They're gonna get hurt. Stuff's gonna happen. So, DJ said it on his Beats by Dre that he gave out to everybody. Why not us? And that's such a great motto. Spot the ball and why not us? Because everybody wants to count out the Gators. Everybody wants to push them aside because they haven't had great seasons over however many years, or they have that one or two breakout season. But why not us this season? Why not? If others can win it, why can't we? Everyone's got to put that ball on the marker, and the ball is going to be snapped, and the game is going to be played. And don't look ahead to the next game. You need to treat LIU just like you're going to treat Texas, LSU. You got to treat them all the same. Exactly. This is the comment right here. There's not a team. If you are putting on pads and you're hitting each other, it's going to hurt. If you don't, then I don't know what you are made of. I don't know what your body is made of. If that junk doesn't hurt you, probably Tyreek Sapp. Honestly, that unit of a human, it probably doesn't hurt him. But everybody else, it definitely hurts them. So just, it's going to happen. Where it's going to be a special season. It's going to be all right. And we're going to see what this team is truly made of. And this hype is going to be real. And I'm just so excited to be here with all of y'all for it. Truly. I buy the hype. Buy it, truly. But yeah, I wanted to get on here. I want to make sure that, I didn't miss a week going live. I am going to go live for a little bit in Gainesville on Saturday. Not for that long because I don't know how internet's going to go or how long the laptop's going to hold up. But I am going to go live for a little bit, hang out with you guys for 20, 30 minutes or so. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to be. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out with us, hanging out with me. Let's see. Shane Matthews said number. Yeah. Sometimes that's a bad thing. The non-contact injuries are sometimes bad, but who knows what it's from? Again, I can go walk over here and stub my toe on the couch and that junk hurts. So, what time is that? I don't know exactly what time Saturday. I'll post it on the social medias. I'll post it on X. I'll post it on Instagram before. We got to get up there. I will say this, I will find a way to go live, but it is supposed to be storming. So if for some reason I can't, I will post about that, but I'll find a way. I'll make sure. And if any of y'all are going to be up there for LIU, like I said, I'm going to have a couple of shirts to give away. So message me, come find me, and I'll let you know where I'm at that time. And if I still have shirts left, I'll let you know. But I'd love to meet you guys if you're going to be up there. See the faces behind the names on here that I see. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. If you could share this, share the podcast. That you can go on YouTube and you can click up at the top and you can just actually just share the whole YouTube. Or if you want to share this live, that's fine too. It would mean the world to me. Right here, if you ain't a gator.myshopify.com, go get your merch. I'm going to be doing a giveaway into the season a little bit, and it's going to involve, just so you know, it's going to involve purchasing something from the site. So, but I got some cool stuff that we'll give away. And again, that's how it's going to be an entry to it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and I hope you guys are as hyped as I am. And if you weren't, I hope you are now. And sorry if if you get let down, but I don't think we will. It's going to be a heck of a season. So can't wait. It's going to be a blast. And again, message me, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Find me and message me and let me know if you're going to be up there on Saturday, and we'll find a way to connect up there. So college football is back. And I'm so hyped. I cannot wait. Saturday morning. I can't lie. Full transparency here. If you see me on Saturday, all right, don't judge me. If you see me on Saturday and my eyes are puffy and they're red and it looks like I've been crying, I'm just going to say it's allergies. It's not because it's Lee Corso's last college game day. It's not because of that. I wasn't crying. It's definitely allergies. Okay. So don't judge me. But I'm so ready for college game day. Wake up. I'm going to have it on the phone because I'm going to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on the way up to Gainesville. Got to stop and get Bojangles because you got to do it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Again, connect with me outside of here. Message me. Let me know what you think the record's going to be. Let me know what you think about the season. I love to connect with you guys and talk Gators football. I'll talk it even when I'm not on here. So, hit me up. Let's talk. And again, come find me up there Saturday. So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I know this was like kind of a random one, but just wanted to get you guys hyped and pumped for the season. And you guys know how it is. If you ain't a Gator, you know the rest.